Hey frag heads and fragrance lovers, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance Show talking about another beautiful fragrance. And today it's Profundo from the house of Aqua. This is not Profumo. This is a new fragrance release. This came out in mid-late 2020 last year. The perfumer is Alberto Morillas, the master perhaps of all time of marine mass-appealing fragrances. He has an expert hand at it. He does it very, very well. And he's put his magic once again into this fragrance. I just wanted to mention that because some people look for him or actually feel like it's a very good thing looking for Alberto Morillas because you know that you're gonna get a fragrance that works. You know it's gonna be pretty easy to wear, and you know that you're gonna get a fragrance that's pretty smooth transitioning, especially with his aquatics. He does a very good job of that. So let's jump into the notes. Honestly, there's not a lot of notes to speak of. There are a number of notes, but the main accords and mostly what you smell is, of course, an aquatic marine fragrance. There's salty nuances. There's green nuances, but come mostly from green. To me, that smell like rosemary, not really seaweed. So there is some of that salty seaweed quality, but this fragrance doesn't smell cologne-like. It doesn't smell overbearing or aggressive. It's very smooth. It transitions very well. As far as blue aquatic fragrances go, honestly, I wanted to be a little bit negative about this one because honestly, I like blue aquatic fragrances to be different and unique, especially because we've had 101 of them. We've had many blue aquatic fragrances that have come to us throughout the years, and also this is Aqua di Gio's. They've thrown their hat in the ring. They've entered the blue fragrance game because of this fragrance. This one takes inspiration from Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. No, hands down. There's absolutely no debate about it. This is, Armani, Aqua di Gio's, their attempt at a blue fragrance. I think it still retains the, the Aqua di Gio DNA. I think that it's well composed and it's well done, that it doesn't lose the direction of Armani, and I don't think it's a discredit to the brand. But is it an original fragrance? No. Is it terribly creative? Really not. There's some soft woods that come down in the dry down as well. But again, it just doesn't feel special to me, but it's very well composed and likable. I know that this fragrance will get people compliments. I know that it will get people reactions. I know that this is going to hit top 10 list. I know that this fragrance is going to become more popular in the coming months. In 2021, this will probably become a very big top-selling fragrance. Does it do anything particularly special? No, honestly, it doesn't. But is it a big compliment getter? Is it likable? Do you have to think about this fragrance if you get this one? No. So if you just want a mass-appealing beast of a fragrance that's easy to wear, of course, I always recommend Nautica Voyage, especially if you're first getting into fragrances. But this one, no doubt about it, is one of the best aquatics now on the market. I'm not even going to wait to the end to surprise y'all and tell y'all some of that news. This is one of the best aquatics on the market, and it's really, really likable. If you're in high school, if you're looking for a gift for a nephew, if you're, maybe you're younger in college and maybe you just don't like a lot of fragrances that are too bold. You think too many fragrances are big and bold and aggressive or strange. You don't want anything woody or spicy, and you just want something that's easy to wear. A lot of guys are going to go for this. This is so easy to wear. Anybody can wear this. Everybody can enjoy this fragrance, and almost everybody's going to enjoy it on you. And the quality here, it does smell very well composed. Alberto Morillas, again, did his magic. So I don't want to speak too much about the scent and what you're actually smelling with this fragrance because it just transitions a little bit. It has some bubbly green nuances. It has some soft woodiness, and it transitions very well. It does have salty green nuances, but it's very well blended. It doesn't come off as aggressive or brash or anything like that fragrances like David Coolwater might. So this is definitely more on the modern and trendy side. There's a little bit of those, modern jasmine-like molecules to this fragrance. I can definitely detect them. And there is some amber in the base, which I did want to point out, which gives this fragrance a little bit more body. It gives it a little bit more depth. But is it a dark fragrance? No. But the amber here does support the fragrance very well. Probably some of that amber wood is probably in this fragrance as well. That makes YSL Y Parfum such a big top seller. And that's one also is a big mass appealing compliment getting beast fragrance, the YSL Y Eau de Parfum. So anyways, with the getting into the longevity of this fragrance and understanding this fragrance, this one will definitely give you about 7 hours. In my experience, it'll give you 7, maybe closer to 8. This will probably get you through most of your workday, if not all of your workday. And it is a nice fragrance. I think it has the right amount of performance for everyday situations. Projection is average or maybe slightly above average. Sillage is acceptable, average, I would say. So I think the performance can definitely get you noticed, but it's not going to shout, it's not going to fill up a room, but it has a good presence about it. Again, for some people with aquatics, I see so many people who, expect really strong performance. Maybe they go nose blind to them because cologne and some of these aquatic salty like notes can do that for you. If you put on 10 sprays of this, you might not be able to smell it anymore, or 20 sprays of this because it's so easy to wear. You might not be thinking about how much a fragrance that is. That's a lot of fragrance to put on, and other people around you will be smelling this on you. So this is a good fragrance. You could probably put on more sprays. I usually don't recommend sprays, but this is definitely, in my opinion, a 7 sprayer, or not 7, 8, 9, 10 sprays, and that'll definitely do you. It'll definitely get you through. And it's not weak though. It's just that you really want to, get people to notice you, and it'll help you with the sillage. So overall, quite a respectable fragrance. Again, compliment factor wise, this is not a seductive fragrance that's gonna, have too many ladies or people crazy about you. It's not going to have you chased down, most likely, but people are going to say, oh, you smell nice, and people are likely to find you much more approachable and likable because you're wearing such a easygoing fragrance. Also, this marine salty accord that's so very well done in this fragrance also seems to do very well in my world. If it's just an aquatic fragrance, if it just smells, if it's not very salty or green, it doesn't seem to get me as much of attention. So this is probably the most mass appealing fragrance. It actually has more of a real aquatic vibe to it. So that's an excellent thing. Absolutely well done. And kudos to Acqua di Gio for pulling out something and doing something that's going to be a big compliment getter. This is going to do the job. Again, guys, it's one of the best aquatic fragrances on the market. And also, it's not really a blue fragrance. It's not really trying to have that too much, but it has a little hint of that DNA. And this one is one of the more wearable ones. I would much prefer this over Sauvage. I still think Dylan Blue is the king of the actual blue fragrances for the price and the value and for what you get. But this one up there with Invictus and the likes of those fragrances are some of the most mass appealing, biggest, compliment getters, easiest to wear, gonna have you smelling good anytime, anywhere type of fragrances. So this one is not to be, slept on. Just because of what happened in the world and some of the craziness that's been happening, I hope this fragrance doesn't get overlooked, because this one deserves love, and really one of the strongest fragrances of its kind, one of the best aquatics in a long time. So what are my final thoughts with the price of this fragrance? I do think that, again, pay attention, guys. The prices of designer fragrances are creeping up. A lot of them are getting close to the 100, or maybe even slightly over 100, 110, $120 US dollars. So prices of things are going slightly up. That's just what happens. Especially, I won't get too much into it, but the printing of money definitely is a factor here. I think this fragrance will go down in price. Acqua di Gio, Armani fragrances, their fragrances never become terribly cheap. They're usually very desirable, and the prices never go terribly cheap. But you will eventually be able to get this to 70, and maybe in a year or so, maybe close to the $60 range, possibly. This is going to be pretty popular. This is a nice fragrance. If you really like fresh fragrances and you want something a little bit blue, you want something easy to wear, you don't want to stress about it, I think that this is very well blended and very well composed for what it is. And I think that it's going to work for you younger guys and guys who just want something easy to wear and you don't have to think about it, no stress, and you just want to smell good. It's a stress-free, don't think about it, run out the door, you're going to be smelling great kind of fragrance. So is it my favorite fragrance? No. Does it do anything absolutely creative? No. But is it composed very well? Yes. And in the designer world of things, is this fragrance going to sell? Absolutely. It's one of the best of its class. And even though there's a number of blue and aquatic style fragrances out on the market, Acqua di Gio has a big following. They do very well for themselves, and this is very well composed. So I don't think that the blue fragrance craze is dead yet. and I think that this fragrance certainly will do an amazing job for you. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed my review here today of Profundo by the House of Aqua di Gio, pulling out a mass appealing designer aquatic fragrance for you guys, ladies and gents. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that I did a good job. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and of course support me down below. You know how to do that if you want to help me. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Wear what you love, rock what you got, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out and bye.